Good morning, Joey Starr here. I didn't have time to film this in my apartment, this little intro, but I am on my way to Las Vegas! And I'm pretty much gonna play this by ear. I don't have any serious concrete plans. I'm going with a group from work, so I'm not gonna have a lot of opportunity to film. I would love to spend the next couple of days doing nothing but filming for this channel. Unfortunately, I'm there for my day job, so I'm just gonna slip in a little bit of filming here and there as I have the opportunities. My hope is that I can get like 3 good videos out of this trip, but I'll be perfectly happy with just one, this one right now. But whatever it is, I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm bringing you along for the ride.
So I made it into JFK, real excited.
Today I'm going to do something very different. I'm going to review my flight experience with Delta Comfort Plus. Having never heard of Comfort Plus prior to planning this trip, I searched for it on the interwebs and this is what I found out. Delta Comfort Plus is an upgraded seat option that is a step above standard economy, or coach, but below Delta One, or business class.
And of course not as good as first class, but there's some comparable items. I was promised more leg room, some premier snacks, so I'll let you know what those are like, complimentary beverage, so don't worry, I'm not gonna get drunk on the flight, and some dedicated overhead space, which is really sweet. You don't have to struggle with the person in the next seat or 3 seats down for space, because that space is mine, pal. We'll see you on the plane. Picking up a quick lunch while waiting. For the first time ever in history, I'm like 2 hours like super duper early because I checked in everything I could ahead of time. The airport wasn't terribly busy, so I got in, got my stuff in. Because I know that I'm going to get into a lot of quote unquote unhealthy foods along the way, I figure I start to transition over. So what I did was, I saw this really neat vending machine that I forgot to take pictures of, but maybe I'll go back and do it. It's called Farmr's Fridge. And at the vending machine, they basically give you these jars of like salads, and there's sandwiches. They're supposed to have drinks, but this particular one did not have a drink. And they also have these neat little desserts. So you can get like a whole meal out of there. I think I ended up spending about 17 bucks and change, which for an airport vending machine, that's not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into some of this because A, I'm hungry, and B, I'm curious as heck. Something the vending machine did not provide me is utensils. Shame on them. I looked around, there's no other doors, there was nothing. Maybe they didn't stock it or something. So I ended up, when I was walking back to my gate, I stopped at the Pizza Vino and I batted my eyelashes a little bit and asked if they can, give me a plastic fork, even though I didn't order any food there, and they were more than happy to do so. And because I stopped also at Pete's Coffee to get some coffee, I picked up some napkins there, of course. Pete's Coffee is one of those coffees, like, it's not maybe the top of what I've had in my life, but I do like it, and I don't get to see it very often. I think the very last time I had Pete's, I was out on the West Coast, which is ironic because I'm flying to the West Coast now. So I try to take advantage. As long as I need the coffee, I'm gonna get Pete's. So opening the jar, we got our separate dressing here. Got a packet of some crunchy stuff, some tortilla. I'm spilling lettuce on the floor, so the airport staff's gonna love me. Toss in my crunchies. Just gonna pour the whole dressing in there. Screw it, just get the whole full experience. Dump it all in there. Mix this bad boy up. So I couldn't help myself. I'm already a couple of bites into this Southwest chili salad. So I get the Southwest salad as the chili lime, chicken, crispy tortilla strips, and chipotle ranch dressing. The toughest thing with this is that you got all the great ingredients on the bottom. It's really hard to mix it up, particularly with a plastic fork. So I'm gonna do my best to mix it up, take a few bites and let you know. Really, really fresh. I mean, they must stock this thing, like, the guy must come in the morning, just put all fresh stuff in there. This lettuce is nice and crunchy, earthy. Tortilla is nice and crisp. Dressing is a bit tangy. It's like it's a chipotle ranch, so it tastes like you expect it to. A little bit on the passive side, not very spicy. It's got like just a hint of a kick. It's creamy and not very salty, which is good. Other ingredients in here, I mean, there's some bacon in there and some corn and some beans, like stuff you see in a Southwest chipotle sandwich. You should get that. Those all taste fresh as well. And I'm looking here, it looks like they have some chia seeds in there, which is cool. Kind of adds the experience, add to that crunch. Beans got a little bit of a snap to them, which I like. Corn's got a bit of a snap too, and a little bit sweet. The beans are not mushy or overcooked. They just did them just enough so that you can bite into them without breaking any teeth, which is always appreciated. And there's a little bit of red cabbage and some cuts a little red pepper to go in there in the salad. And when you mix it all up, I mean, if I had to really criticize anything, not that I'm blaming Farmr's Fridge for this, but I could have used maybe about a little more of the dressing would have been better, like maybe double what they gave here, but I understand they're kind of pressed for space on this, so I'll give them a pass on that. So my compadre Gregg, which you saw in one of my pizza videos, was gracious enough to grab me a spoon so I can eat this the right way, because I tell you what, eating this with a fork, yeah, I mean, I could do it, you know, just kind of, but it's gonna be, yeah, it's a nightmare. So I was telling Gregg, it's chia pudding, and it does have strawberries and cacao nibs in there. So just a quick up close shot. So I can see the little bits of the cacao on the top there. The strawberries, I mean, I saw it through the jar a little bit. It's not, it won't show up on camera, so I'm not even gonna go close up, but I saw it in the vending machine on a different one that they spit in there. Took a good whiff. Nice, strong chocolate flavor. Kind of reminds me of like European dark chocolate in a way. Cameraman Gregg did take a whiff. He was like, oh wow. And I agree with him, this oh wow. And let's just take a look at the texture a little bit. It's a lot of chia seeds in there. So it's got like almost like an oatmeal-like consistency, maybe a little bit thicker even, as it clings all nice together. And while I'm doing this, the aroma is just slamming up against my nose, which I'm definitely not complaining about. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab a spoon here, and just get that first bite in. Very, very smooth. That texture, it's almost more like a gelatin, except it's nice and loose, like a pudding. I can swear I could taste a little bit of maybe coconut in here. Let me see. Or just coconut milk. Ah, see? Good taste buds, Joe. Yeah, I can taste the coconut milk in there. Definitely adds to the smoothness of it. The bite I took was almost purely chia seeds and a bit of course, the cacao nibs. I want to get a bit with the strawberry. There we go. I don't know how well that'll show up there, but you see on the far end of the spoon here, I got a little square of strawberry. It looks like it's pretty fresh. Oh, it smells really fresh too. So the strawberry aroma is strong enough. Just cut through there. Let's get a bite with that. That is the money shot right there. You get that strawberry in there with the cacao. It goes from being really, really good to excellent. That strawberry just cuts right through. Let me go ahead and take another bite here. So in a pro move, what you do is you kind of alternate. You get some that without the strawberry, and then you grab some with the strawberry. It's almost like a reset. As the strawberry, it cuts through a little bit. You get a bit of that sweetness in there. It's a different kind of sweetness, different from the chocolate. Just kind of cuts through nicely. Adds a little passion to it, if you will. And it's refreshing. The bites with the strawberry kind of refreshes the previous bites that are strictly chia seeds. I'll grab one more here. So the reason why I bought this is because I was walking with my friend who spotted the machine. We were checking it out, and she said she's had chia pudding before. Says it's excellent, highly recommended, and I can understand why. So shout out to Mary Kate for recommending this. This is delicious. I like this even better than the salad, which is no surprise, right? Who doesn't like dessert better than salad? I'll tell you who, maniacs. Maniacs like salad better than dessert. Good leg room, overhead nice and clean. It's probably the only time I've ever flown where there wasn't some kind of struggle, either when I was putting mine on or following up, so that's pretty good. So the quote-unquote premium snacks happens to be some chips and pistachios. Yes, it is. It's definitely a jump up from, you know, airplane peanuts and pretzels, sure, but it's not something super spectacular. And I'm not even sure what super spectacular would mean for what's complimentary for Comfort Plus. I mean, if I was in first class, I'd just expect some other stuff. And of course, there's the option I could have just bought a sandwich or something, but because I eat that delicious stuff in the airport that you saw, I just stuck with the snacks. So the other thing I have to say is that, so they have this coffee that comes at Starbucks. I don't know if it's actually Starbucks or not, but it tastes like ass. So those are the risks. FYI, this might be the smallest airplane bathroom I've ever been in. I'm sure there's smaller out there, but my God, this thing
To call it a water closet would be giving it too much credit. You gotta hold your elbows in if you sit on the toilet. So anyway, I just thought I'd pick on them about that. Other than that, I'm having a good time on this flight. Delta's given me pretty good service thus far. So to wrap up my thoughts on the Comfort Plus at Delta Airlines, my experience is pretty good. Basically, it's kind of like what it sounds like. It's Coach Plus, if you will. I had more leg room, which was definitely nice. Definitely made the ride more comfortable. I just took basically a 5.5-hour flight from New York to Vegas. So, if you got to go that far, having more legroom definitely helps. Overhead bin experience was fine, probably the smoothest I ever had on an airline. A neat thing too is, as far as boarding the plane goes, if you select the Comfort Plus, then you're gonna board the plane right after first class. So that was pretty sweet. The quote unquote premium snacks, well, chips, pistachios, some basic like candy granola bars, little packets of almonds from nuts.com, those sort of things. Kind of small snacks above the typical airplane peanuts and pretzels, but again, I'm not sure what like a premium snack would be. What would it be, like pastries or something? Not sure. So, I thought that was pretty satisfactory. Of course, your typical soda. The seat was definitely a little roomier, a little more comfortable than, what they probably had over in the economy side. You do walk right past first class to get there. And I tell you, those first class seats looked pretty sweet and they're roomy, but I'm not as baller as the people that got to fly first class, and since it was a full plane, they didn't upgrade me, so that's to deal with that. Overall, I think the experience is good. If you're going on a longer flight like that, anything longer than like 2 hours, and you like that extra leg room, being able to board the plane a little sooner, I think it's worth paying the little bit of extra money to go to Comfort Plus for sure.